Hello guys, how are you all? And I'm back here again to give you another wonderful topic of direct indirect. This is a very important topic as far as board exam 9, 10 CBSE is concerned. In fact, this starts from class 5, 6 if I'm not mistaken in certain schools. So basically what is direct indirect? We also call it reported speech. Now I'll explain that in Hindi for some of you all to understand. तो बेसिकली ऐसा होता है कि अगर कोई किसी से कुछ कहता है वो प्रेजेंट टेंस में कहता है ओके मतलब वो अभी इसी वक्त कुछ कह रहा है वो प्रेजेंट मोमेंट में कह रहा है फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई विल कम टू योर हाउस नाउ अगर कोई थर्ड पर्सन वही कही हुई बात को फिर से रिपीट करता है कि वो इंसान ने क्या कहा तो आप ऐसे कहोगे कि उसने ऐसे कहा ही वुड और शी वुड go to his house, right? His or her house. So this is what happens in direct indirect. The matter, the content is being repeated by a third person. Do you understand? Okay, now if you look closely, what has happened? Number one, the speaker changed, right? Because someone else is repeating what I said. So I will call myself I, but when someone else reports about what I said, that person will refer to me as she, right? Third person pronoun she. Now, if it was a male person, it would be reported as he, right? So, if there are two of them, it would be reported as they. So, basically, the first person and the second person pronoun changes to the third person pronoun, generally. The second thing that changed was, as I said, what was being said was in the present moment, right? So what is time? What is moment? It is a transfer of time. So when I am going to repeat what has been said, again, generally, I would convey the message in the past tense. Got it? So if I say that I have eaten food will be conveyed by somebody else as she had eaten food. Did you see how the time changed? Okay, so to explain this in a very easy manner, I would like to remind you of the tense chart that I had given to you all in active passive. So it is very clearly explained in that chart. You can refer it from my video of the active passive. It's given quite evidently over there. But I'll just remind it, I'll just repeat it over here. All the present tense gets changed to past tense. Okay? Generally, again, what I'm saying is generally, and the reason I'm using this word generally again and again is because exceptions are always there, right? Like, for example, if something that has been communicated at that very moment, okay, what did she say? What has she said? So you will say she says. Like if the reported speech, check for the reported speech. If the reported speech does not say she said, okay, what if it says she says? Then you will not change the verb. The verb does not change. Okay, so this is some exception. One exception. We have another exception. If the thing that is to be conveyed is a universal fact, okay, or if it's a habitual truth, a scientific fact, okay, they won't change either. The tense won't change. Okay, for example, if I say the teacher said the sun rises from the east, you would not say it as the teacher said that the sun rose from the east. It kind of sounds weird because it looks as though today it rose from the east and tomorrow it will rise from somewhere else. So it kind of changes the fact. It could change the fact. That's why we do not change the tense of universal facts, scientific facts, or proverbs. Okay, like for example, the early bird catches the worm. No, the tense doesn't change. It will still remain the early bird catches the worm, not the early bird caught the worm. Correct? Okay, there's another thing that changes apart from pronoun and verb. The third thing that changes is, I'll show you this chart. It's basically what we say adverb of time and place. Okay, so a lot of these talk about time. A lot of these talk about time, but however, there are some that talk about place as well. Like for example, this, these, right? But if I say today, tomorrow, see, this is time. In fact, there are two verbs like come and go. Okay, so you will find a mixed group of some words that change. So this is a third group of things that will change when you are converting from direct to indirect. Now becomes then. Okay, now becomes then. Here becomes there. This becomes that. These becomes those. Ago becomes before. Hither becomes thither. Hence becomes thence. So hence and hither are some archaic English words. The chances of such words to come in sentences is negligible, but however, if it does come, that's the challenge and that's what you have to be prepared for to be the best. So make sure you learn them, okay? Do not ignore them. Okay, it, there's no change in it. Why? Because it is never spoken to and therefore it will never respond, right? So therefore it will never change. Thus changes to so. Today becomes that day. Now we have the same day as well, but I always tell my students, don't get your minds confused or flooded with options, because in the exam you will start to wonder which is the best to take. Keep it simple, just choose one option. So even though I have given you two options here, I would say cancel out the same day. Okay, try to remember that day itself. So when you are converting the sentence, you're not puzzled with options, just stick with one word, that day. So if it comes today, the teacher said, I will take a test today. So you will say the teacher said that she would take a test that day. Likewise, tomorrow you can also say the following day, but as I said, keep it simple. Just stick with the next day. Okay, or you can also say the following day, but any one. Don't stick the learn both the options. Same as with yesterday. Stick with previous day. That's fine. Good enough. Or you can choose the day before, but don't learn both of them. Practice with just one because both of them are perfectly correct. Then we have the last night, which will get converted to the previous night. Again, I have kept the night before as an option. If you have already practiced using the night before, go ahead with that. And then do not practice the previous night, otherwise it will just confuse you. And then we have come goes with go, and go goes with come. All right, so this is about a brief introduction of direct indirect. Now, direct indirect can be converted according to four different sentence types. So we have a very quick brush up of what are the different kinds of sentences. We have the positives, the negatives, the questions, and the exclamatories. Okay. So assertives are statement sentences. They just make sentences. And then we have got your requests, your imperatives. Imperatives are requests and commands. And then we have exclamatory sentences where something has been exclaimed. And then we have questions. Okay. So questions are those sentences where something has been asked, right? Any doubts to that? Okay, so coming to the first question type, and all of these four different sentence types have got different ways of reporting what has been said. Okay, so let's start with the first one. The assertives, declaratives, they are the same thing. Remember them because there's another question, grammar point that I'll be taking up. Where I'll be taking up transformation of sentences. So again, we'll be having a look at these assertives, declaratives, imperatives, interrogatives, exclamatories. So do not forget them. And I'm sure you have studied them in class 8th and class 9th. It comes in some schools, it comes from class 5th and 6th onwards. Okay, so let's look at the direct indirect. How to transform the assertives and declaratives. On one side, we have got the direct speech written, and on the other side, we have the indirect speech written. So what does the direct speech say? Now, for example, if the sentence says, he said, I shall come. Now see, what happens is, first, let me just, with the help of a whiteboard, let me just, okay, I'll just give you an example and I just tell you what happens. Uh, if the sentence says, he said, I have eaten lunch. Suppose the sentence says, I have eaten lunch. Now, what you need to do is, first of all, you need to get rid of these punctuation marks. Okay, so all these inverted commas and commas will be gone, and you will join this part of the sentence and this part of the sentence with a connector. So we will say that as a connector. He said that, right? This is cut, copy, paste. He said that. Now over here, what do I change? So as I told you, you need to focus at three parts that you need to change. The first is the pronoun, second is the verb, and the third is those list of words, that table that I showed you all. Okay, so where do you recognize these parts in this sentence? Number one, the pronoun. Okay, and number two, have. The rest have to be actually ignored, right? Do not even look at them. What we think is, oh, we need to transform the entire sentence. No, you don't need to transform. You don't even need to look at the other parts of the sentence. See, it's so easy. You just need to look at two parts in the sentence. The third, if it is there. Okay, that is if it is there. Generally, it may not be there. So I and have are essential parts in the sentence because I is the subject and have is the verb. You cannot have a sentence without a verb. Okay, so he said that. Now who is this I? This I is this he, right? So as a third person, I becomes he. He said that he. Now have, what is the past tense of have? Had. He said that he had. Now see, the rest is cut, copy, paste. He had eaten. Okay, it's so simple. He said that he had eaten. I'll give you one more example in the same segment. This time I'm going to give you a past tense. Okay, so he said, I took the test. Now you will say he said, and then you'll use the connector that over here. He said that. Now again, who is this I? It is he. Suppose let's make it she. Let's make it different. So now I become she, right? She said that she. Now look here. What do we have for the verb? We have took for the verb. I can understand that present tense become past tense, but what will past tense become? Past tense becomes past participle. Alright. So in the chart, with the help of those arrows, I have shown it very clearly. You can again go there, have a look. And if you look into the past tense column, there's an arrow that goes into the past perfect side of the column. So took becomes had taken. I'll also give you a very easy way to remember that. Okay, don't worry. She had taken the test. All right. So what did I change? See again. See, I have just changed took and are. Did I change anything else? No. Rest everything remains the same. Okay. So it is as easy as that. Now, just give me a second. I want to make it easy for you. So I want to show you the tense actually. It will really help. All right. So, sure you can see the chart now. All right. So, see, this is the chart which we had for active passive, and this is the same chart that will help you in with your direct indirect. So, if you can see, this is a simple tense. The simple tense turns to the simple past tense. Simple present tense becomes a simple past tense. The present perfect tense becomes the past perfect tense. The present continuous tense becomes the past continuous tense, and the present perfect continuous tense becomes the past perfect continuous tense. Okay? The simple past tense, if it were simple past, it would get converted to the past perfect tense. This is the past perfect tense. See, this is perfect and this is past tense. So where these blocks meet, that's the past perfect tense. If it is past continuous, it will become past perfect continuous. Just follow these directions, these arrows. These are your GPS for direct indirect. And in case it is past perfect, it will remain the same tense. So if it is past perfect, it will remain the same tense. Now what happens in the future form? See, I've highlighted will over here. And if you see, will is coming in all the four of them. Okay, in all these four tense, simple, perfect continuous, we have the use of will. So what happens with will is that the will converts to would, right? Now in case it is shall and will भाई है, may भी वही है, same category, same group. Um, so will, shall, may, can will become will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might. Okay, so as simple as that. If it is has to, have to, it will become had to. So in future form, we don't have separate rules for all of them, just one rule for all of them. If it is will, irrespective of what form it is, it will become would. So if I say, he said he will take out the trash, he said he would take out the trash. He said he will have taken the trash out, he said he would have taken the trash out. He said he will be taking the trash, he said he would be taking the trash. He said he will have been taking the trash, he said he would have been taking the trash. So I have not touched anything else in the sentence, I have just change the will to would. Did you understand that? Right? You can pause the video over here and you can take down this chart, because this chart will really help you. Do not miss to take down these arrows, because these arrows show the direction in which the tense moves. Okay, and this will really help us with in solving direct indirect. Having said that, I also want to let you know that there's another way of to remember uh, this chart, because obviously you cannot take this chart to the examination hall. So how do you remember them? Okay, rule number one: all the present tense become their respective past tense. Easy. Take, take becomes took. Has, have becomes had. Am, is, are becomes was, were. Has been, again has, the same thing as has, so just remember the has. Okay, has becomes had. Easy. Okay, now if it is past tense, then what? If it is past tense, remember to put a had there. If it is any kind of past tense, whether it is this or this, you will use the had form over there. So he took, had taken, he was, had been taking. Okay, as simple as that. अगर past tense दिखा तो उसमें had डाल देना. Simple, right? अगर had दिखा तो क्या? Had दिखा तो कोई टेंशन ही नहीं है, चेंज ही नहीं होगा, राइट? सो यहाँ पे इस कॉलम में had आता है एंड इस कॉलम में had आता है. ओके, सो इन दोनों कॉलम्स में ये चेंज ही नहीं होता है. सो had का had रहता है. ओके, हो गया इजी बात. नाउ एज आई सेड, विल का वुड हो जाएगा, कैन, कुड, शैल, शुड, मे, माइट. सो ये चारों का एक रूल है. सो इफ आई सम इट अप, it's actually a list of just 1, 2, 3, 4 things you need to remember. First is all the present tense become their past tense. Rule number 2, past tense goes with had. Number 3, had remains unchanged. Number 4, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might. Easy? Okay. So coming back to our tense now, let us look at this example. So he said, I shall come. He said that. देखो that आ गया बीच में, right? ये I क्या बन गया? He बन गया. Shall क्या बन गया? Actually अब मैंने आपको बताया should बनना चाहिए, लेकिन shall and should first person के साथ यूज होता है. Okay? I and we. ये भी basic rule है. So English में हमेशा rules are underlaid with exceptional rules. Okay? There are always exceptions. So life की भी एक यही गाथा है that there are always exceptions. There is no single pattern for anybody, any person, any situation, anything. So over here, likewise, grammar में भी there are always exceptions. So shall क्या होता है? Shall first person के साथ यूज होता है. और अभी ये theoretical English है, तो आप बोलोगे हम तो I shall कभी नहीं बोलते. नहीं, हम नहीं बोलते, because ये theoretical, ये it's more of a formal English. What we speak is informal English. So informal English में will चलता है will के साथ. ठीक है, आप लोग गलत नहीं बोल रहे हो. It's just that you are speaking the informal version of English. Okay. So now अगर I shall sentence में आ गया तो आपने अगर I का ही कर दिया है तो he तो third person है, and I just told you shall should comes with first person. So he के साथ should नहीं जाएगा, he के साथ would जाएगा. ओके, सो ये should वाला रूल कब अप्लाई होगा? अगर मैं रिपोर्ट कर रही हूँ, सपोज मैं रिपोर्ट कर रही हूँ, I said that I should come. Got it? All right, our next sentence is he will say. देखो आया एक और exception. So as I told you, अगर reporting verb past tense नहीं है, now देखो ये reporting verb past tense है. तो अगर रिपोर्टिंग टेंस पास्ट नहीं है, जैसे विल है या प्रेजेंट टेंस है, यहाँ पे देखो प्रेजेंट टेंस यूज किया है. ओके, इन दैट केस द वर्ब विल नॉट चेंज. ओके, हैज का हैज ही रहेगा. देखो प्रेजेंट टेंस का प्रेजेंट टेंस ही रहा. ऑलराइट, तो इन केस अगेन यू हैव अ डाउट कि हैड क्यों का हैज क्यों हो गया, वो टेंस नहीं चेंज हुआ है भाई, वो सिर्फ उसका सिंगुलर प्लूरल फॉर्म चेंज हुआ है. I के साथ have आता है, बट जब हमने प्रोनाउन चेंज कर लिया तो प्रोनाउन के साथ she have नहीं आ सकता ना, she has आएगा. So has and have is the same thing of the present tense. So I've not changed the tense, I've just changed the singular to plural or plural to singular. So she will say, देखो she will say, inverted commas निकल गए, that आया, that. Now ये जो I है कौन है, she है. So I के बदले you will say she. So have danced will not change to had. It will remain the same tense. Okay, but because it is she, I will say has. She has danced well. See, nothing else changed. Dance bhi wohi raha, well bhi wohi raha. Okay, next. So the next sentence is Rahul has said, I did the job. So you will say Rahul. Now over here, please note again we have a present tense. Okay, the reporting verb is in the present tense. So you will say Rahul has said. आपको पता है that the tense will not change again over here. Rahul has said that. I stands for Rahul. So you will say he. Did will become did. अगर ये has नहीं होता तो आप did का had done बनाते. Okay, remember I just told you past का past perfect होता है. But यहाँ पे नहीं होगा, यहाँ पे did change नहीं होगा because यहाँ पे has है. The reporting verb is in the present tense. So that he did the job. Now, if you look at both these sentences juxtapositioned, you will see that actually what did I change in this sentence? Nothing except for, let me just rub that. Okay, so nothing except for here pronoun. See, put them put together. I just added that and I've changed nothing, just he. So I becomes he. This is as simple as that. People think that, oh, you have to change the entire sentence. No, actually, you don't have to change the entire sentence. If you just follow these three simple rules that I gave you, um, pronoun, verb, and those extra list, this list. So if you just follow this simple rule and remember that you just have to look out for these three things in the sentence, it's actually a piece of cake. Okay, so the next sentence says, Father says, I shall go. Now, says is in the present tense, so यहाँ पे याद रखना shall नहीं change होगा, future का future form ही रहेगा. Okay, future past mood नहीं होगा, future का past mood नहीं होगा. So father says that आ गया. Pronoun तो पक्का change होगा because report करने वाला कोई और है. फादर ने बोला था अभी मैं रिपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ तो रिपोर्ट करने वाला कोई और है. सो मैं फादर को जो बुलाती हूँ वो, सो मैं उनको क्या बुलाऊंगी, ही बुलाऊंगी. फादर सेज दैट ही, शाल का विल ही रहेगा. ओके, वो चेंज नहीं होगा. सो एज यू ऑलरेडी आई ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन्ड इट इन द फर्स्ट सेंटेंस, बिकॉज आई है इसलिए शाल है. जब थर्ड पर्सन हो जाता है तो ही के साथ शाल नहीं लगाते बिकॉज सिर्फ हम फर्स्ट पर्सन के साथ ही शाल लगाते हैं. सो इट विल बिकम ही विल गो. ओके, नाउ द लास्ट सेंटेंस, दिस इज अ रेगुलर पास्ट टेंस. ओके, सो यहाँ पे आपका रिपोर्टिंग वर्ब क्या है, सेड है. ही सेड टू मी, सो ही टोल्ड मी, ही सेड दैट भी लिख सकते हो. ही टोल्ड मी दैट, दैट आ गया. देखो इन्वर्ट कॉमर्स निकल गए, दैट आ गया. क्या चेंज हुआ, देखो ही आई का ही हो गया. ही वो मेरे को कह रहा है ना. सो वो आई कौन हुआ, वो अपने आप को आई बुलाएगा ना, तो ही अपने आप को आई बुलाएगा तो ही हुआ ना. सो ही. नाउ हैव क्या बनेगा, had. Present tense becomes past tense, remember? So have का बन जाएगा had. He told me that he had worked out the sums. Now I've actually circled to show you what changed in the sentence. Just two parts. Okay, so I changed to he and have changed to had. So tell me, isn't direct indirect easy, right? Now let me give you some examples over here. I will just take up say 2 or 3 of them and I want you to try out the remaining for homework. You can pause the sentence over here, the slide over here, and take down these exercises. There are many of them, there are 4 of them. Okay, so and I've grouped them according to sentence type. So the first exercise deals with the assertive and declarative, the sentences, the statements. Okay, so the boy says, I study in whatever, B, high school. So as you can see, there's a says over here. The verb does not change. Now प्रोनाउन चेंज होगा बिकॉज ये कौन है बॉय है तो मैं जब रिपोर्ट करूंगी मैं उसको ही बुलाऊंगी द बॉय सेज ही स्टडीज इन बी हाई स्कूल स्टडी का क्या हो जाएगा स्टडीज हो जाएगा बिकॉज आई के साथ आई एस नहीं आता ना ही के साथ आई ई एस आता है बिकॉज वो सिंगुलर फॉर्म है राइट दैट्स इट ओके देन लेट मी शो यू द सिक्स्थ वन. So in the present tense tha. Okay, let me show you the past tense. He said, I have been learning English. He said that I which में he said that I कौन है he है तो I क्या बन जाएगा he बन जाएगा. He said that he have क्या बनेगा had बनेगा. Very good. So he said that he had been learning English. बाकी same cut copy paste. Right? Okay, let me show you another one. Let me do the seventh one. Rahman said to Mamun, your father will go to my office. Rahman said to Mamun that your father will become his father, will become would, go to, now there's another pronoun, would go to his office. किसका office? Rahman's office. So Rahman is a boy. इसीलिए मैंने यहाँ पे क्या डाला his office. Did you understand? So you can actually, I tell my students when you are initially trying out direct indirect, learn to underline them. So first of all, select which are the pronouns you see in the sentence. Okay, so this is how you start. This is the technique you use. Do a scanning. Look out for pronouns. This is a pronoun, underline it. Again, this is a pronoun, underline it. Identify the verb, which is a verb. This is the verb, underline it. Now you know exactly what you have to change. You'll never miss out, skip out on anything. Okay, one more example, ninth one. He said, I am reading a book. Okay, let me change this to past tense because past tense are the ones that the students make the most mistakes in. Okay, so I was reading a book. So if it suppose it was I am reading, it will get converted to I was reading a book. But what if it was I was reading a book, right? Which is the past tense of I am. So what will you do? So if you remember what I told you, present tense changes to past tense. Past tense changes to past perfect. Had लगेगा. Past tense में had लगेगा. So I know students may not remember perfect and continuous and simple. So मैं आपको बहुत simple बता रही हूँ. Present का बनेगा past, past का बनेगा had. ठीक है? In case you don't know what is this perfect and all, you should be knowing you are in class 10. But let me make it easy by using the form that is used in perfect. Okay, so आपका अगर past tense है तो past tense में क्या लगेगा had लगेगा. अगर had है तो क्या होगा change नहीं होगा. तो यहाँ पे he said I was reading a book. तो I was का क्या बनेगा had लगेगा. तो आप क्या बनाओगे had been reading. He said that he had been reading a book. बाकी सब का copy paste. So देखो again I have underlined two things that you will change. I and was. Got it? Just two things. Okay, let me do the eighth one because the eighth one has something different in it. अभी तक जितने भी एग्जाम्पल्स दिखाए मैंने आपको इन सब में कहीं पे भी ये टुमारो नहीं था. ओके सो जैसे ये एडवर्ब ऑफ टाइम प्लेस नहीं था. सो ये इस सेंटेंस में टुमारो है. सो लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू कि क्या होगा इसमें. ही सेड नाउ लेट अस मार्क आउट किया, क्या चेंज करोगे? आई चेंज होगा, want चेंज होगा एंड टुमारो चेंज होगा। ओके, तो यहाँ पे आपके तीन चीजें चेंज होंगे। जस्ट अबाउट, हाँ, I'll make it less cluttered. Okay, so you will change these three things. Now you are very sure that what you need to change. So you will say he said, and the connector that, he said that, I कौन है? He है ना, I कौन है यहाँ पे? He है, he कह रहा है। He said that, he, want का क्या हो जाएगा? past tense, ये present है तो क्या बनेगा? wanted. He said that he wanted to go to Mumbai. Tomorrow क्या बनेगा? The next day. He said that he wanted to go to Mumbai the next day. Got it? Okay, so let us proceed with the next sentence type. The imperative examples. Okay, so what are imperatives? Imperatives mean requests, commands, prayers, wishes, hopes. So whenever you express any of these, they are called imperatives. Okay? Okay, so over here, on one side we have the direct and indirect. Okay, so look at these examples. Before I start with these imperatives, let me just okay. So let me explain to you how to transform imperatives. Okay, now the rule that I explained was a general rule. It applied to declaratives and assertives. Imperatives are fairly easy, very, very easy compared to your previous one. So if you have understood the declaratives, I'm very, very sure that you will fly through the imperatives. All right, so this is how it works. He said, sit down. He said, sit down. Now, how do I know this is an imperative? I have got two sentences over here. A very interesting brain twister, you can say. He said, I order you to sit down. Now, if I were to ask you, इन दोनों सेंटेंस में से आपका imperative sentence कौन सा हुआ? तो आप बोलोगे इसमें ऑर्डर आ रहा है तो यही लगता है आपका imperative, और ये तो ऑर्डर है ही तो ये भी imperative लगता है, तो है कौन सा? Confusion, right? Okay, so that's what we have to do when we are doing direct indirect. In fact, many of these, whatever comes in grammar, a lot of these things will first ask you to identify the sentence type. Okay, because these sentence type carry different rules. Okay, now how do you identify them? Imperatives do not have the subject. So यहाँ पे अगर sentence में I आ रहा है तो वो तो subject हुआ sentence में. Okay, तो वो आपका imperative नहीं हो सकता है. भले ही मीनिंग में ऐसा है कि मैं तुमको ऑर्डर कर रहा हूँ टू सिट डाउन, लेकिन ये ऑर्डर नहीं है. ये कह रहा है कि उसने क्या ऑर्डर किया. जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट, वो कह रहा है उसने क्या ऑर्डर किया. बिकॉज अगर ऑर्डर होता तो वो डायरेक्ट होता है, जैसे सिट डाउन. दैट्स अ डायरेक्ट ऑर्डर 1 to 1. ओके, यहाँ पे यू भी कहने की जरूरत नहीं है बिकॉज द पर्सन इज राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, है ना. सो यू डोंट इवन नीड टू से द यू. नाउ से अगर ये आई ऑर्डर यू में अगर मैंने यू चेंज कर लिया, आई ऑर्डर्ड हिम लगा दिया, आई ऑर्डर हिम टू सिट डाउन, सपोज आई से आई ऑर्डर हिम टू सिट डाउन, तो देखो ये कैसे ऑर्डर हो गया, ये तो कह रहा है कि उसने किसको ऑर्डर किया, राइट, किसी को ऑर्डर किया, वो तो कह रहा है कि उसने कोई थर्ड पर्सन को ऑर्डर किया, तो ये ऑर्डर हो ही नहीं सकता है, बिकॉज ऑर्डर्स में, इम्पेरेटिव्स में टू थिंग्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट, ओके, नंबर वन, there is no pronoun, there is no subject, and number two, the tense is always, the verb is always in the present tense. ना इसको देखो मैं ऑर्डर्ड भी बना सकती थी, देखो ऑर्डर्ड भी बना दिया, विल ऑर्डर भी बना सकती, फ्यूचर भी बना सकती, लेकिन यू कैन नॉट डू दैट फॉर ऑर्डर्स. ऑर्डर्स आर नाउन, okay, to be followed now, okay, one to one, that's an order, okay. So you का होना ना होना important नहीं है, यू के बिना बोले बिना भी मैं और किसी को ऑर्डर कर सकती हूँ, इनफैक्ट ऑल द टाइम्स, हम मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स रादर हम मेंशन भी नहीं करते, ओके, यू सिट डाउन, वी जस्ट से सिट डाउन. The only possibility I will say, Rahul sit down, is when there are many students around him and it's difficult to identify कि किसको बोला गया है, ऑर्डर किसके लिए है, तब मैं बोलूंगी राहुल सिट डाउन. और तब मैं कैसे लिखूंगी, तो ये सेंटेंस ऐसे लिखेगा, राहुल कॉमा सिट डाउन, to clearly explicitly show that Rahul is not a part of the sentence. I just mentioned his name as an address, but he is not a part of the sentence. Okay. So how do you recognize imperatives? They are direct and they are always in the present tense. They do not have the subject. Got it? All right. Now let us solve them. Okay. So he said sit down. तो हम कैसे solve करेंगे? He, अब यहाँ पे मैं said नहीं बोलूंगी, यहाँ पे रिपोर्टिंग वर्ब आएगा ordered. He ordered. He ordered him or he ordered, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन किसको ऑर्डर कर रहा है. अब यहाँ पे तो सेंटेंस बता नहीं रहा है कि किसको ऑर्डर कर रहा है, तो आप कुछ भी लिख सकते हो, गलत नहीं होगा. ही ऑर्डर्ड मी, ही ऑर्डर्ड हिम, ही ऑर्डर्ड हर, ओके, हिम, मी, हर, कुछ भी लिख सकते हो. बट अगर सेंटेंस है ही सेड टू राहुल, तो ही ऑर्डर्ड हिम आएगा, बिकॉज राहुल इज अ बॉय, ओके. अब अभी तक हम दैट लगा रहे आ रहे थे ना, अभी हम दैट नहीं लगाएंगे, अभी हम क्या लगाएंगे, टू लगाएंगे. He ordered him to sit down. So did I change the tense of the verb? No. Did I change the pronoun? No, pronoun is not there even. And did I change the tense? No. Sit का sit रखा मैंने. देखो इसलिए मैंने बोला it is very very easy. You just have to add a to inside, in between, in place of that. Okay. The subject is not there, so no problem. The tense is in the present, remains in the present tense. Okay, now to tell you the reason why the tense remains in the present tense is because actually I've converted sit into an infinity. Do you know what's an infinite verb? Infinity. Okay, it's infinities. So infinities are those verbs which have a to before them. And why do they have a to before them? Because the rule says that in one sentence, if I'm not using a conjunction, it's one clause. मतलब means कोई दूसरा clause नहीं है, single sentence है. So एक ही verb हो सकता है. तो मेरा verb क्या है यहाँ पे? मेरा verb है ये ordered. ठीक है? So दूसरा verb नहीं हो सकता. Got it? So अगर दूसरा वर्ब है तो मैं क्या करूंगी, उसको वर्ब का स्टेटस नहीं दूंगी, उसमें टाइम नहीं डालूंगी. ओके, सो मैं उसको सेकेंड इन चार्ज का स्टेटस दूंगी, क्या बना के, टू इंफिनिटी बना के. Got it? So this is the rule. The rule says this, that if there are two verbs in a sentence, only the first verb will carry the tense in the sentence. The second verb will be converted to an infinity. So यहाँ पे दूसरा verb ही आ गया sit. तो व्हाट आई हैव डन इज मैंने टू ऐड कर लिया, इसलिए सिट चेंज नहीं हुआ, सिट का जो टेंस है वो सिट का सिट रहा. डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड? ओके, आई विल गिव यू अनदर एग्जांपल. He said, please help me. Now, what does this please say? This please says that if this sentence is a request, तो आप क्या बोलोगे? He requested. He requested again. It's not given किसको request किया. So अगर he requested रानी है, तो he requested her आएगा. Okay? तो आप कुछ भी लिख सकते हो because it is not clearly given. So you can say he requested him, her. Actually, students do this. They put oblique and they give all the three forms. कुछ भी आ सकता है. Him, her, or me. तीनों में से कुछ भी आ सकता है. ठीक है, बिकॉज यहाँ पे कहीं पे मेंशन नहीं है. he said to रेखा होता, तब लिखोगे he said to her लिखोगे. ओके, तो यहाँ पे कुछ स्पेसिफाइड नहीं है, तो आप तीनों लिख सकते हो या कोई भी एक भी लिख सकते हो. you won't get that wrong. He requested him, her, me. Now, which is a verb over here? Help is a verb. So आप क्या डालोगे? आप इस प्लीज को इग्नोर करोगे बिकॉज ये प्लीज बन गया है रिक्वेस्टेड ऑलरेडी. ठीक है, तो यू विल नॉट रिपीट दैट द दैट फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब. सो आप बोलोगे रिक्वेस्टेड हिम और मी टू हेल्प, वर्ब के साथ टू लगेगा, टू हेल्प. ना यहाँ पे एक प्रोनाउन है, सो टू हेल्प हिम. ना ये मी कौन है? ये मी है, ही. सो ही का ऑब्जेक्ट फॉर्म क्या है? हिम. Got it? Yes. Now let's look at those examples which were there, which I showed you. The teacher said to the student, ये don't अगर होगा तो आप क्या लिखोगे? Not to. Okay, देखो क्या बनेगा? Okay, he said to me, please lend me your pen. Now this is a request. So he requested me to lend him my pen. See, this is the verb. इसके साथ to लग जाएगा. To lend. Me and you, your are pronouns. So basically what I've changed, I've only changed the pronouns. Okay, rest remain the same. Connector में to लगेगा and rest remain the same. So he requested, please क्या बन जाएगा? Requested. He requested me to lend him my pen. ये me him क्यों है? Because बोलने वाला कौन था? He था, लड़का था. Got it? और यहाँ पे माई पेन क्यों बना? बिकॉज वो किसको कह रहा है? वो मेरे को कह रहा है. तो इस सेंटेंस में मैं रिपोर्ट कर रही हूँ. ओके, सो वो मेरे को योर पेन बोलेगा, बट मैं मेरे पेन को तो माई पेन बोलूंगी ना. सो दैट्स द रीजन आई विल से माई पेन. द टीचर सेड टू द स्टूडेंट्स, वर्क आउट द सम. दिस इज अ simple and a clear cut case. You don't have to convert anything. The teacher said to the students, यहाँ पे लगेगा to. Said to के बदले लगेगा order. The teacher ordered the students to. Rest remains just as it is. Work out the sum. Okay. Same as over here. See, it remains the same. सिर्फ यहाँ पे the general ordered the soldiers. यहाँ पे to लगा. Okay. Remains the same. March on. Father said to me, work long and hard. Again, if you notice, this remains the same. Work long and hard. सिर्फ यहाँ पे बीच में टू लगा और ये एक एडवाइस है. सो आप लिखोगे he advised. He said to me, let's go for a walk. Now, let's क्या होता है? एक प्रपोजल होता है, ओके, और a suggestion होता है. So आप अगेन दोनों में से एक चूज करो. Suggested is a good option. So you can say he suggested that we should go for a walk. Okay, he suggested to go for a walk. Suggested to go for a walk. Got it? Oops, I changed the slide. Okay, Wasim said to his friend, let's play cricket. Let's play cricket in the park. So Wasim, now again see, we have let over here, let's, right, over here. So it's a suggestion. So you stick to suggestion or propose, stick to suggestion. That's a nice one. Wasim suggested to his friends to play cricket in the park. To play cricket in the park. So that's how it is done. Did you understand? Now I'm leaving you again with some homework to try out for your own self. Now, when we meet tomorrow, I will take up the remaining two parts of direct indirect. So we have got exclamatory and we have got questions. So I will look into these two parts tomorrow. And I'm leaving you with these two homeworks. One is for imperatives and the other is for assertives. Make sure you all complete them by tomorrow. I'll just give you solve one of them, and I've already given you many examples. If you are confused, you can go through these examples. Alright? For the slide where the examples are given, and you can um, just see how I have done them. So let me look at the first one. Stop talking, Joe. The teacher said. So I told you, no. See if the person has been addressed, तो क्या आएगा? कॉमा आएगा ना बीच में, है ना? So the teacher यहाँ पे किसको कह रही है? टीचर जो को कह रही है. तो एक काम करते हैं, जो को बाहर ले आते हैं, ठीक है? The teacher ordered Joe. Stop is a verb, so अब क्या लगेगा? To stop talking. That's it. Over here, they have changed the direct speech, the position of the direct speech. Generally, the position of the direct speech is after, है ना? Generally, अभी तक आपने ये देखा था. यहाँ पे direct speech सब में ही आगे है. देखो, he said वाला सारे ही पीछे है. So don't get confused. वो सिर्फ sentence invert हुआ है. Otherwise, चीज वही है. Stop talking Joe या the teacher said stop talking Joe एक ही चीज है. So the teacher ordered Joe को बाहर ले आओ. The teacher ordered Joe. Verb के साथ to डाल दो. To stop talking. Same is over here. She ordered him. Said कि बदले ordered him to be patient. तो हम यहाँ पे सिर्फ क्या डाल रहे हैं? To डाल रहे हैं. Okay. The father ordered her to go to. ये किसका कमरा है? लड़की का कमरा है. Her room, right? He said to us, he ordered us to hurry up. See, it's as simple as that. Just write on your own, and मैं यहाँ पे ना थोड़ा please भी डाल देती हूँ, so that you try out some requests also as well. Please give me the key. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to stop over here. Have a wonderful day, guys. And if you have any doubt, you can let me know through comments. I'll make sure I'll solve all the doubts. And just make sure you all finish the homework. This table is a very important table. Pause the video, take it down, and follow the arrows. I just rub this out. Okay, so follow the arrows, right? Present tense becomes past tense becomes past perfect, and if it is